All right, well, welcome back. So, how much is your financial advisor costing you? I don't mean in fees. That's a conversation that we can have on a different podcast another day. I mean in missed opportunities and in additional taxes because they're providing you with financial advice rather than with financial planning. So today's podcast is going to be about the difference between financial advice and financial planning because I don't think a lot of people understand that difference. If you're wondering if you're getting advice or if you're actually getting financial planning, we encourage you to check out the document that we created that outlines the differences, as well as our 20-point checklist. You can get those for free, download them for free by visiting 360wealth.ca/planning. Our 20-point checklist is a cool tool that we built where you go through it, you just answer a few questions, and by going through that, you'll get a very good handle on where you sit and if you are in fact getting planning versus advice. All right, so today I'm going to just quickly talk about financial advice. I'll start there. So financial advice, it's just very reactive. In general, that's the nature of it. So you go to meet your advisor every, once a year typically. And when you meet with your advisor, there's surface level conversations. They typically focus on financial products like investments or insurance. And they talk to you about your rates of return, your investment account balances, whether you should be contributing more to those accounts or less. The advisor typically doesn't have a very deep understanding of you, your situation, your goals. Oftentimes, I find that families will go and they will meet, like only one of the family members will meet with the advisor. And so the other family member just looks at it and says, well, my husband or my wife has it. I don't need to go and deal with that. And that can cause pretty big issues as well. So financial advice, like I said, is just very reactive, and there's not a lot of planning that is done. If you do in fact get a plan, we refer to these plans as check the box planning, as in check the box that the plan's been done. Not really a huge priority for the advisor, and oftentimes, if you're dealing with a financial firm, they will end up having their financial planner come in and do the plan. And they don't even often meet with you to get the data from you. They'll send you questionnaires that you complete on your own. You send it back, and then they complete this plan and present it to you. And it's usually very simplistic retirement projections to allow you to understand where you are in relation to your retirement goals. So that's financial advice. So now financial planning is quite a bit different. Financial planning is very proactive and is very holistic. So this is where you're going to meet with your advisor on a regular basis, likely quarterly throughout the year. And the conversations, while conversations about investments and insurance are important, they're only a very small part of the big picture. So your advisor will create a written financial plan for you that's holistic in nature. So they'll talk to you about your estate planning, your tax planning, if you own a business, understanding how the flow of money moves from your operating company to your holdco. If you have a family trust, making sure that you understand how that's integrated into your estate planning, reviewing your estate documents like your wills, your power of attorneys, your personal directives, and making sure that all that stuff works together. What you'll find also is that a planner will talk with your other professional advisors, like your accountant and your lawyer, making sure that everybody is on the same page and pulling in the same direction for you. So let me give you a little bit of an analogy here. So imagine that you go and you meet with a doctor, okay? I'm sure you've been to a doctor recently. We all typically have. And when you go in there, you have a cold, you're in and out within 15 minutes. The doctor has a lot of clients that they have to see throughout the day. And so they're not going to spend a whole lot of time with you. They just prescribe medication and say, hey, if you still have your cough in 2 weeks from now, come back and see us, right? That's going to be very reactive. They reacted to your situation. Now imagine that you went in and saw a holistic doctor, where that holistic doctor is going to not only deal with your cough, but they're also going to ask you about your diet, your exercise, your stress levels. They're going to run you through a bunch of tests. They're going to meet with you regularly, maybe even quarterly. And so they're very much in tune with you and your health and trying to help you reach your health goals, right? So wouldn't that be a lot better? Well, finances are the exact same way. Yet it's surprising how many successful families are still getting financial advice instead of planning. And that costs them hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more. If you're interested in understanding where you are, we have a document that you can download and our 20-point checklist on the difference between advice and financial planning. You can get those for free by visiting 360wealth.ca/planning. And if you enjoy these podcasts, feel free to follow us. I'll include a link below where you can click on and get these documents that I talked about. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.